Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out chapters 44 and 45 of Season 2 of Tower of God. We had a parting of ways in the last couple of chapters with us learning a bunch about Oryang and what is going on with his backstory and all of the extra layers to what this workshop battle is going to entail, as well as maybe hinting at potentially some backstory for Bomb. There seemed to be a lot of parallels between the two of them. Even Bomb seemed to be connecting some dots and thinking that maybe there was something there of his past. So we'll have to see how that goes. It seems like we have Kun, who is en route for this Donovan? I'm like not gonna remember now. The brother of Oryang. Everybody has too many names now that I'm just like, the devil's right arm? Him. The imposter, I guess, for that. Cassino, thank you. Cassino. Everyone seems to be kind of en route to meeting him, and then we have kind of this ambiguity about what is going to happen with the rest of Team Sweet and Sour, of whether or not they are going to continue to the workshops without Oryang, or if they're going to perhaps go after him. I feel like maybe that is a possibility. Whether or not Bomb decides to talk to them about it is kind of up in the air though. So we'll have to see what happens. I really don't know. Yeah, I really don't know what's going to happen with Team Sweet and Sour, but it looks like we're kind of catching up with them, so I feel like they might want to go with Oryang and help him out, which is why I think if they know about it, that might be the turn that everything takes and they like meet up with him. But with that, let's get into chapter 44. Okay, we have Mom coming back after what happened. See, I'm like, are we not you can't just say like, oh, he's gonna be late and then like he never shows up again and have that not be like an issue though. Like that's my one thing. I'm like, they're gonna notice that he's not back eventually and be worried about it. So you're gonna have to give them something about what happened. Lies. You shouldn't lie to friends. Come on, Mom. Gotta tell them. Gotta tell them something more than like, he'll be late. I'm sad that it sounds like they were like, of course we're all gonna go together. And then now they've been left behind. I feel like he's a little bit conspicuous, you know? Like, he can't just casually walk through any place and not have people notice him on account of being basically a giant. I mean, maybe I shouldn't say that. There might actually be giants in the tower. It's entirely possible. I know that there are bigger creatures than Teddy Bear, but like, he's not exactly someone you're gonna miss. Can like blend into a crowd. You're gonna know. Okay, selling information. Cool. I guess we had before where they were like, people with lighthouses have access to like a bunch of information, which is why everyone knew about Cassino. So it makes sense that you would have someone who kind of sells information. I don't know, she's hiding her eyes. There's probably a lot more to the story than you think. I was gonna say payment. I feel like this isn't a reference to a film, but Show Me the Money is what's the film name? Jerry Maguire? Tom Cruise film. And that's it's taking everything within me to not say the line, but it's yelled, and I'm not gonna do that to you. But know that that is what's playing in my head.
I need to feel you, Jerry! Show me the money! Jerry, you better yell! Show me the money!
I guess someone like this too, who's like selling information, would rely heavily on outsiders for business, because people who live in this like tent village probably don't need to know about stuff that's happening directly around them in the same way that people from outside would. It's so cool that it's like a statue that's been like buried or something, supposedly. Any kind of abandoned building, I feel like someone has figured out how to live there. Probably would give like a good vantage point too. Wasn't he lurking on top of it at some point, or lurking at the top of some kind of building before? So I guess if you're looking for something, maybe. We don't really know why he's here, so I guess that's also part of it, but it makes me feel like he's looking for something specific if he's getting like the higher vantage point. Oh good. Traps and monsters. Awesome. It's probably gonna be fine. Not to make another reference like immediately, but it makes me think of in Pokemon where we have the ghost tower. It's in like the Kanto region, right? And I always found that so strange. I mean, like, not to have like a graveyard to Pokemon, because I get bonding with creatures, but that it was just like dangerously haunted and people were just like, yeah. You know, like it's in the middle of a town, like more populated than this, I guess, which is a little bit less of a permanent place for people to live. Yeah, it's always better to go as a team. You should have brought your team with you. Your team, Sweet and Sour. I want them to come meet up with him again. I know he wants to do this on his own, but like, they're family too. It's a good point. Maybe he wanted to be seen, and then he's waiting for Oryang maybe? Because I feel like he knows of Oryang because we've had the Devil's Right Arm thing, right? Which is supposed to be Oryang, but then we have Cassino using that name, so maybe that is part of it, is trying to find him, reconnect with him. It would make sense in terms of the backstory we got where they would have this really tight bond together because they're the only ones who understand what they've gone through. So perhaps, I feel like we found our first trap. Stone dolls. Oh yeah, wasn't that kind of like what we saw with Foog that Bomb had to fight against, which was like extremely dangerous now that I think about it. Please be careful. Did we do okay? You can't just leave me like that. I like how Kun has like just shown up and he's already like, look at this grotesque structure. Like the judgment of Kun, but also, you know, we love the sass. We really do. Just hit me the like suspense of like Kun probably about to meet Teddy Bear. Are they gonna connect to the dots? Because Violet is a different name than Bomb, and he's different now. And I'm just like, I want the moment so bad of like Kun finally like having concrete proof of Bomb being alive and where he is. I just want them to be together again. Yeah, that's what I was saying before. I'm like, he probably wanted to get his picture taken because Kun's saying like you can clearly see not only him, but where he is, even though he's just sort of in the background. Probably not. I would assume that you were not the one that he was trying to. Though I guess he would also know that probably some other people would come along that weren't the one that he was looking for. I was like, yeah, other people are probably here too. There's probably a few other people, now that I think about it, who are trying to also find him. Considering he's made a name for himself. Oh, no, he's gone. Look, we have to be team, okay? We gotta work together. I know they don't get along, but still. What part doesn't feel right? Maybe like the obvious trap, and then it's to cover up that there's another one. You get like, you feel like you've already taken care of the trap, so you don't notice the next one. No, Vic, you're not helping. You're distracting, and you're making him angry. Careful. Uh-oh. That face, though, of like, what? Oh, was it that it got the lighthouse? Or that it broke? Ah, because of the attack. Okay, so because the fishing pole hit, gotcha, following, and now Kun's just like left behind. Aren't they expensive to replace too? We went over this before. Come on, team. Okay, still alive, that's good, not injured. If only you had a team who could support you in things that you don't have the ability for. Maybe if you just like knew a light bearer that could help you with this. Is this Kun's team or someone else? I'm very worried that someone else is gonna show up as like a wild card. Is it Tiny Kun? It is. They probably are gonna fight each other. I was gonna say don't fight each other, but I'm like, what are the chances that they don't try to fight each other? Don't answer that. I'm like, don't tell them. Because you are, but you're not the one that they're looking for. I feel like this is gonna turn into a chaotic mess really quickly. That's where I'm at, where I'm just like, oh, next chapter though. I just want them to connect. You know, I want to see all of the characters come together. Is Bomb gonna sneak out? Now I'm just thinking about it. Bomb, don't sneak out. Team sweet and sour. I like how they're like, well, I'll just pretend to be Teddy Bear is like, what, 8 feet tall? Maybe I'm just saying that because I'm short and everyone just seems ginormous in comparison to me. But he is very, very big, especially in comparison to the rest of you. I feel like just dressing like him is not gonna cut it. I like, sounds stupid. No thanks. Most people are tall. Yeah, didn't I have this with Lady Yuri where I was just like, why is she so tall? And you're like, she's not that tall. I'm like, why am I so short? I like how their conversation is, what are we wearing? You know, there are lots of things they could plan for this whole meeting up with Cassino, and they're like, no, we gotta coordinate. What are we wearing? What is the aesthetic? I appreciate that though. Gotta tell him something, Mom. Like, obviously, I feel like he's worried about it, right? Because he's like, we should be with Oryang, but also like they should know what's happening. And he's just stuck in them. Look, brooding about it isn't gonna make it better. I feel like you should just tell them. Secrets usually don't mean that you're gonna have something good happen. You know, like secrets usually mean that something bad or easily avoidable is gonna happen. I really don't want y'all to fight each other. Oh, well, that's just rude. He's just hefty, okay? I'm defensive. What? I said don't fight each other. We're not even gonna like fully introduce. He said what? That was like the only thing that he responded to. There was like this whole observation, and he said what and Actually, I think the was Tiny Kun. He said what? That's all he contributed to the conversation. And you're just like, let's attack him. We're not gonna properly investigate this before we just attack a person immediately? Seems like bad strategy. Okay, got a giggle out of me though. To fight, like, obviously. Yeah, he is the devil's right arm, but not the one that you want to fight. Tiny Kun might fight you anyway though, because you seem strong and somewhat relevant to what's going on. I love how his little wing changes shape depending on what power he's using at the time. I don't know why I find it cute, I just do. I need y'all to not hurt each other. I find it interesting to have these two fight against each other though, because you have someone like Teddy Bear who is bigger, more reliant on like muscle, blunt strength, and then you have Tiny Kun that's like more about speed, agility, kind of taking advantage of a smaller size. So like different dynamics to the way that they go about fighting. Also like Oryang is more, I think, timid to getting into a fight, whereas as we've established, Tiny Kun's like, I'm gonna fight anybody. Anybody who makes eye contact with me, fair game. Dad better have not hurt my teddy bear though, because he has favoritism, okay? He is strong. See, I feel like him being strong is just going to encourage more fighting in this instance. I feel like him being strong is not going to deter Ran as he's like observing what's going on. Hello? Oh, hello, Novik. You caught up. Please don't attack him also. Again, he has favoritism, so at least he had the decency to introduce himself though. He's not the one you're looking for. Where is Kun? Okay, this is what happens when he leaves them unsupervised. He needs to catch up with them. If he decides to do that, I guess he might just like, I don't know, I feel like Kun doesn't like not knowing though. I feel like he would have to catch up with them just so he would know what was going on. Like, I'm sure he likes his team, but he's not one to like trust completely. I think that I don't know, he needs to know what's going on. Please don't sneak out and leave your team. Oh, hello, Misa. How can you lie to her? Look at her little face. And you're gonna look her in the eye and tell her that Teddy Bear is gonna come back soon. I love how Gwasing has like been waiting for him, because that would be me. I'm like one of those people where even though I know it's probably fine, I can't not stay up and wait for people to be home. Even with my friends, I make them, when they leave, we've been like hanging out and they're leaving, go home, I'm like, text me when you get home. And they're like, why? You're not my mom. I'm like, text me when you get home so I know that you're there. I feel like I would definitely be waiting up. Oh, I mean, are they bad people? I feel like Kun's team aren't bad people. They're not good people. They're not bad. I want him to be good. I want them to help him. I want the team to be together, supporting him. Oh, I like her fear is that they're gonna find him and do bad things to him again. Man, I was like not expecting to get all teary-eyed about how cute they are to each other, like, again. I love how Bomb's like comforting her, but you shouldn't lie. You should tell her the truth, or at least someone the truth. Her little smile and everything. Flashback. Are we leaving? Are we leaving without your team? Take your team with you. Your team sweet and sour. Even Kun brought people with him. I guess he doesn't know that, but still. But also, Mom's gonna be in the same floor as Kun. The suspense is killing me, and I know that this chapter is about to end, and I'm like in denial because the moment's coming. I've already been feeling so many things for the last couple of chapters that like just actually finish this. And then we can have thoughts. I feel like this was a lot of like after the last couple of chapters where we had a lot of backstory, a lot of like story elements being added in that are going to be super important going forward with the story, that this was a little bit of a breath before a bunch of stuff happens. It was like, okay, everybody breathe. This is where people are at. This is kind of the setup of the scenario of everyone meeting up at this one place to find Casino and kind of having the initial meeting of some of these characters that have not met up to this point. And now we have Bomb deciding to go and find Oryang, and I'm sure that this will escalate, right? Because like the other members of Sweet and Sour know where Casino is, so they can also follow at some point. So I feel like they will also end up following when they realize that two of their teammates are just gone. And they were planning to go anyway, so they're just gonna be upset that they were left behind for a little while. But it's like the converging of all of these points, right? Like the whole season up to this point has had all of these different paths and they're starting to converge together. And I'm just so excited, but also worried. Like I'm worried because it's gonna be such a moment. It's gonna be, I feel, so powerful when Kun and Bam see each other again that it's gonna be a mixture of things. And I don't know how to feel. A little bit less dense in these couple of chapters as we try to like set up for that, because I think it's so important for us all just like take a breath, have everything in place, because this is gonna be such an impactful moment. The suspense is killing me. It's been so long of me just being like, when are they gonna see each other again? And we're like just inching closer and closer. You can click this playlist to go and see my previous reactions, or you can subscribe to miss next time I post a Tower of God reaction, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.